Hi students, welcome to the video on financial accounting. So today's topic is financial statements of not-for-profit organization at your fingertips. So what is the glimpse of the topic? In this video, this is video number 2, we will discuss meaning and definition of not-for-profit organization, maintenance of books of accounts, statement, capital fund, accumulated fund or corpus fund or general fund. That is, the capital fund or accumulated fund or corpus fund, general fund is nothing but excess of assets over liability. In trading account, we are taking it as capital. Here in not-for-profit organization, it is named as either capital fund, you can write, or accumulated fund, or corpus fund, or general fund. Then treatment of some important item of income and expenditure balance sheet of not-for-profit organization. Then finally we will discuss some multiple choice questions with answer. So first, a not-for-profit organization, a legal and accounting entity which renders services to its members is termed as not-for-profit organization or non-trading organization. The main objective of good is to provide social service and to promote art, culture, sports, education, etc. Not-for-profit organization collects incomes, or the main source of income of not-for-profit organization is from subscription, admission fees, donations, etc. given either by member or non-member, and also grants, subsidies or concessions received from the government. Examples of not-for-profit making organizations are sports club and social club, churches and gurudwara, temples and masjids, libraries, charitable hospitals, and also professional bodies like Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Cost and Watch Accounts of India, like this. So these organizations are managed by elected representative of the member. That is, the president is the topmost authority, then vice president, secretary, assistant secretary, treasurer, like this. There are many members of the not-for-profit organization. So besides cash book, receipt and payment account of these organizations, that means besides maintaining cash book, in the cash book it records all receipt of cash and deposit of cash or deposit check in the bank, that is cash and bank, debit, and also the all payments of cash, credit side all payments of cash, and credit side, that means all cash withdrawn from bank or check issued, that is day-to-day basis. Then from cash book we will summarize item wise and we will prepare a receipt and payment account. The main purpose of receipt and payment account is we have to know how much is the balance of cash in hand and cash at bank. Then what are the sources from which we receive the income and also incurs expenses. So besides cash book and receipt payment of account, these organizations maintain member register. It maintains the register of all its members and their address, contact number, and also mail ID. Then minutes book, the resolution passed in the general body meeting or executive meeting will be retained in the minutes book. They will also maintain their stock register, their assets and liability position of their club, society, or education, so whatever that may be. So treatment of some important items. First, subscription. The main contribution comes from the member, that is subscription, payment received from member. As it is revenue received, it is taken on the credit side of income and expenditure account under the head subscription. Like membership fees. It is a one-time fee. That's why it is capitalized in nature. It is capital receipt and it is taken on the liability side of balance sheet. Then endowment fund. It is a gift for a specific purpose. That's why it is a liability shown in the balance sheet on the liability side. Then entrance fee. Some consider members enrolled every year and it is a regular income. That's why it should be treated as revenue received and taken on the income and expenditure accounts. And others treat that it is at the time of enter into club or admission fee of school. That is paid once or enroll as a member. That's why it is not recurring nature. So it is taken on liability side of balance sheet. So whether it is revenue or liability, the student have to justify, write a note on the working note, write working note below the problems. Then donation. It may be general donation or specific donation. If the volume of donation, amount of donation is very high, then it is capitalized in nature, it is treated as capital received and taken on the liability side of balance sheet. If it is very small, then it is treated as revenue received and taken on the income and expenditure accounts. Then for charitable organization, whether the amount is very small or very high, if it is general in nature, it is treated as capital receipts. Donation, it is for charitable organization, it is treated as revenue receipt and taken under income and expenditure account. Then if donation is for a specific purpose, that is donation for building, donation for prize, donation for books, donation for sports equipment, then it is treated as capital receipt and taken on the liability side of balance sheet. So legacy. Legacy means gift received under the will on the death of a donor. It may be general legacy or specific. If it is for general purpose, then it is revenue nature, it is treated in the income and expenditure account. If it is special purpose, it is taken on the liability side of balance sheet. Then honorarium. Persons may be invited to deliver lectures or artists may be invited to give their performance. Any money paid to invitees is termed as honorarium, not salary. So it represents expenditure and debited to income and expenditure accounts. Then government grant. Sometimes government grants for day-to-day running of the not-for-profit organization, that is grants for maintenance. So it is treated as revenue received and taken in the income side of income and expenditure account. But grants for development, for acquisition of assets, it is capital in nature, is treated as liability in the balance sheet. Then expenses on specific fund. If some expenses on specific fund is created, any expense it is deducted from the specific fund on the liability side of balance sheet. Suppose interest on fund investment. If there is interest on fund investment, if it is general in nature, then it is revenue, it is taken in income and expenditure account. If it is specific in nature, it is taken in liability side. Sale of assets. Then sale of assets, we have to arrive the book value. Then if the sales process is more than the book value, then there is profit. It is taken in the income side of profit and loss, income side of income and expenditure account. If there is loss on sale of the asset, it is taken on the debit side of income and expenditure account. Sale of obsolete items and waste papers, it is treated as a revenue income, that revenue received and taken on the income and expenditure account. this stationery consumed. How to calculate the stationery consumed? First, we have to see the opening stock, then how much is the purchase, how much the outstanding stationery bill, and minus closing stock of stationery will calculate the stationery consumed. So we will solve some problems from 11th accountancy books, that is double entry system of bookkeeping books. It is best, the problem is from non-trading concern, how to arrive the calculation of subscription and other receipts of the not for profit organization or non-trading organization. So one by one we will solve some problems. Some problems we will solve now. First, it is given. Question number 1, treatment of subscription. So subscription income for the year ended 31st March 2022. Question number 1, subscription received is given. So subscription received is given. The amount is 90,000. This is the subscription received. Then subscription outstanding opening. Subscription outstanding opening. That means the subscription outstanding opening, it belongs to previous year, so it should be deducted. So minus 5,000. Then plus subscription outstanding, that is closing. At the end of the year, this is the subscription outstanding. The amount is 13,000. So answer is subscription received is 98,000, which is taken as income on the income and expenditure account. Then question number 2. Find out the amount to be credited to income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2022. Subscription received during the year, it is given 1,08,000. 1,08,000 it is given. Then subscription due at the beginning 9,000. So 9,000 you deduct it. Then subscription at the end, that is 12,000. So 12,000 you plus. Then additionally is given subscription received in advance opening. So at subscription received in advance opening means it belongs to current year. Advance opening, it belongs to current year. We have to add it. So amount is 11,000. Then minus subscription received in advance at the end of the year closing. Subscription received in advance closing. Amount is 2,000. So 2,000 you minus. So what you will do? 1,08,000 plus 23,000. 1,31,000 minus 9,000, 2,000, 11,000. So answer is subscription received during the year is 1,20,000, which is taken in the income side of income and expenditure account. Then in the balance sheet, on the asset side we write subscription outstanding closing. Subscription outstanding closing. The amount is this much, 12,000 will show as asset. Then subscription received in advance closing. Here on the liability side write subscription received in advance closing. So amount is treated as a liability because we received in advance. The amount is, this is 2,000. This is all about this number. Then that, prepare subscription account for the year 2021. Subscription received in 2021. That is, subscription received is given. The amount is 1,80,000. Okay, 180,000 subscription received. Then due opening, subscription due opening, that is opening, outstanding opening is 10,000, so you minus 10,000. Then subscription due closing, add it, that is 9,000 you add. Then subscription advance opening minus, yes it is plus because it belongs to current year, 3,000. Subscription advance opening, so it is, the answer is 1,80,000 minus 10,000, 1,70,000. Subscription advance received, okay, it is not subscription due closing. This is subscription outstanding opening, subscription advance received closing. This is advance received closing, so it is minus. Then subscription advance received opening, it is plus. So 180,000 minus 90,000, 183,000 minus 19,000. So answer is 1,64,000 is the answer. That subscription received will be taken as income in the income and expenditure account. Then here in the balance sheet we will write subscription received in advance closing only. Subscription received in advance, that is closing, we will consider 9,000. So 9,000 we will write here only. Find out the income from the following. It is given subscription received during the year. So subscription received during the year, that we will write here. It is 48,000 is given. Then subscription outstanding opening 3,000. Subscription outstanding opening 3,000. So it is minus. Outstanding opening 3,000 is minus. Then subscription outstanding closing. Subscription outstanding closing, it is belong to current year, then plus. How much? Subscription outstanding closing at the end is 5,000. So it is 5,000. Then subscription received in advance closing, it is 4,000 minus. So it is closing is 4,000. Subscription received in advance opening, that is 7,000. Last year it is received, so it belongs to current year, plus. So this is all about. Then 48,000 plus 12,000, that is 60,000 minus 7,000. So answer is 53,000. It is treated as subscription received, shown as income in income and expenditure account. Then in the balance sheet asset side, subscription outstanding at the end of the year, that is closing. Subscription outstanding closing is given 5,000, that we will take it into account. Subscription received in advance closing, that is 4,000, will take as liability. This is all about the treatment of subscription in income and expenditure account and balance sheet also. Then question number 5. It is given there is a club of, or in a club there are 700 members. Each members are paying 200 per annum. So amount should be 1,40,000, because in received at payment we are following the cash basis of accounting. But in income and expenditure, just like a profit and loss account, we are following accrual system of accounting. What is the actual amount during the year will be taken into account. This is the actual amount. So subscription should be 1,40,000. Then what is given we have to see. It is given club have received 1,10,000 during the year. So subscription received is 1,10,000. Then subscription due in the beginning 9,000. That subscription outstanding in the beginning we have to deduct, that is 9,000. Then subscription at the end of the year 35,000. So end of the year is 35,000. So outstanding 35,000. So it is 1,45,000 minus 9,000. So it is 1,36,000. So another 4,000 is the subscription received in advance opening. Subscription received in advance opening is not given. So it is subscription received in advance opening. Then finally the income is 1,40,000, which will taken in the income and expenditure account towards under the head subscription received. Then this 9,000, the closing is taken in the balance sheet assets. That's all. Then this is all about subscription. So I have given you the clear picture of how effectively you can calculate or the subscription receipt and also how you treat it in the balance sheet. Then another belongs to expenses. Similarly, expenses is given. Actual expenses paid 55,000. So actual expenses paid 55,000. Then expenses outstanding during the year. It is prepaid expenses at the beginning. Prepaid expenses. As on, this is opening date on 1st April 21. That means it belongs to current year. The amount is 3,000. So it is 3,000. Then prepaid expenses closing, that is 2,000. Prepaid expenses closing. So it is to be deducted because then it is 2,000 is given. So answer is 56,000 will be taken under the head expenses, that is expenses paid under profit and income and expenditure account. That 56 income expenditure account, and that prepaid expenses is taken as a liability, that is 2,000 on the liability side of balance sheet as it is treated as asset in the balance sheet under the head prepaid expenses 2,000. Then question number 7. Actual expenses paid is given. So it is 80,000 is given. So write 80,000. Actual expenses paid 80,000. Then prepaid expenses opening, that is 1,000. So it belongs to current year plus prepaid expenses closing. So prepaid expense closing is minus 4,000 because it belongs to next year. Then it is given expenses outstanding opening. Expenses outstanding opening. Outstanding opening. So it is to be subtracted. The amount is expenses outstanding opening 6,000. Then expenses outstanding closing at the end of the year. Expenses outstanding closing. So amount is given. Expenses due or outstanding closing 2,000. This is plus. So answer is 81,000, 83,000 minus 10,000. So 73,000 is the expenses paid. It is treated as expenses in the income and expenditure account. It is shown on the debit side of income and expenditure account under the head expenses PET. Then 8. It is given stock of stationery. Stock of stationery. That is opening stock is given. That is on 31st March 21 is given. 31st March 22 is given. Here is 9,000. Here it is 15,000. Then purchase of stationery given. Stationery purchase 48,000. Stationery purchased. Amount is 48,000. We have to calculate the stationery consumed or expenses of stationery. That is expenses of stationery, or we can say that is stationery consumed or stationery consumed. Then we will calculate like this. See, actual stationery purchase is 48,000. Then opening was 9,000. So total is 57,000. Then clothing is there remaining. Clothing is under balance sheet asset will show. That is minus 15,000. So used is 42,000 is the answer. Stationery consumed will shown on the debit side of income and expenditure account under the head stationery consumed. Then we have to calculate in question number 9. It is very helpful for 11 students. They can check their answer from this video. Then question number 9 is given. Calculate the amount of sports material to be charged to income and expenditure account for the period ended 31st March 2022. Sports material. So first you have to calculate the purchase of material from this problem. Then you have to calculate the material consumed, which is taken as expenditure on the debit side of income and expenditure account. Material consumed. So first we will see the problem. What is given? It is given cash paid to creditor 38,000. Cash paid to creditor 38,000. Then creditor for sports material at the end, clothing is 7,000. Outstanding. That is creditor for sports material at the end. Sports material. We already paid this. We have to pay. It is outstanding. Creditor for sports material clothing. That is 31st March 22. It is given 7,000. Then creditor for sports material opening 4,000. Creditors for sports material opening 4,000. See, we already paid 38,000 and 7,000 is still remaining. We have to pay. So total is 45,000. Out of 45,000, 4,000 belongs to previous year. That is creditor for sports material. So current year the raw material, that is purchase, is 41,000. So this we found first. Raw material purchased. Then we have to calculate how much is the raw material consumed. So this is the raw material purchase plus closing stock of raw material at the end. Closing stock of raw material. So closing stock of raw material is, in the question it is given, closing stock of raw material 8,000. So Closing stock of raw material is 8,000 is given. Then opening stock of raw material 9,000. So plus is opening, because opening stock was 9,000. Raw material we purchased 41,000. So total comes to 50,000. Then closing stock of raw material, which will show under balance sheet asset. Closing stock of raw material, it is 8,000. So raw material consumed is 42,000, which will take as expenditure or will charge to debit side of income and expenditure account, and this 8,000 will show on the balance sheet as closing stock of raw material. Then also under liability 7,000 show creditor for sports material. Then question number 10. Under question number 10, stock of stationery opening 300, creditor for stationery opening 200, stock of stationery on 31st March 2020, that is closing 50, amount paid for stationery 1080, creditor for stationery closing 130. First we have to consider the amount paid for stationery. Amount paid for stationery, that we will get from the credit side of receipt and payment account. The amount is given 1080. This is the amount paid for stationery. Then creditor for stationery at the closing. So what is outstanding? Creditor for stationery closing. It is also taken on liability in the balance sheets. Creditor for stationery closing. The amount is 130. Then minus creditor for stationery opening. Creditors for stationery opening. The amount is, so we have to calculate the stationery purchase. It is, I think, stock of creditor for stationery opening 200 rupees. So it is 130. Here it is creditor for stationery. Creditor for stationery is 200. Not this is creditor for stationery opening is 200. Creditor for stationery closing in 130. So it is 1210 minus 200. So it is 1010. This is stationery purchased. So stationery purchased. Stationery purchased. So we have to calculate the stationery consumed. Stationery consumed. This is stationery purchase plus we will see how much was the opening stock of stationery. Opening stock of stationery was how much in the question? It is opening stock of stationery was 300. So we will add it. So it is 1310 minus closing stock of stationery, that is 50, minus closing stock of stationery. Stock of stationery, it is 50. So deduct 50. So stationery consumed is 1260. We will debit to income and expenditure account under the head stationery consumed, and that closing stock of stationery will take in the asset side of balance sheet. credit of stationery closing, that is 130, will be taken on the liability side of balance sheet. This is all about question number 10. Then question number 11. In question number 11, it is given payment made to supplier is 24,000. Payment made to supplier, it is given 24,000. Then amount due to supplier, amount due to supplier at the end, how much? Amount due to supplier at the end is 6,000. So it is 30,000 less amount due to supplier at the beginning. Amount due to supplier this is at the end, this is beginning. How much are there? Due to supplier at the beginning was 10,000. So 10,000 you have to deduct. So it is 20,000. Then it is given advance to supplier in the beginning. Advance to supplier in the beginning means it belongs to current year. Supplier in beginning, that means it belongs to current year. It is added with this. The amount is 5,000. So it is 25,000. Then amount due to supplier at the end. Amount due to, amount advance to supplier. Advance to supplier at the end. It is given 4,000. So credit purchase is 21,000. This much is the credit purchase. Credit purchase is 21,000. Then you have to add the opening stock of stationery in order to calculate the stationery consumed. Then add opening stock of stationery. You have made a credit purchase of 21,000. Opening stock of stationery was 9,000. So it is 30,000. Then you see that is closing stock of stationery to the extent of 5,000. That is closing stock of stationery. That is, the amount is 5,000. So stationery consumed is, stationery consumed, answer is 25,000. It will be taken on the debit side of income and expenditure account. Then closing stock of stationery is taken as assets. Then advance to supplier, and amount advance to supplier at the end is treated as assets. Then amount due to supplier at the end, that is 6,000, is our liability. That will be taken in the balance sheet. Then another problem is there regarding entrance fee. Regarding entrance fee. It is given The balance sheet of Satya Narayana Club shows a capital fund of 1,50,000. Capital fund opening was given 46,000. Then it is given entrance fee received. One half is to be capitalized. Only capitalized portion of entrance fee we have to add the capital fund. Capital receipts of a capital receipt under entrance fee. Entrance fee which is capitalized. Entrance fee. It is given one half of 10,000. 1/2 of 10,000. So 5,000 is capitalized in nature. That will add in the capital fund. Then life membership fee, 1/3 to be capitalized. Life membership fee, 1/3 to be capitalized. Capitalized is, that is 24,000 into 1/3. So it is 8,000. Under capital fund, in liability side of balance sheet, we will consider 59,000 as 2,59,000. Here it is capital funds. Okay. So capital fund opening was 1,50,000. It is 1 lakh. Capital fund opening was 1,50,000. Then surplus. Surplus means excess of income over expenditure. It is given 46,000. So we have to add. So this is the formula. First you consider what is the capital fund at the beginning. It is given 1,50,000. Then add the surplus, that is excess of income over expenditure 46,000. Then capitalized portion of entrance fee 5,000. Capitalized portion of life membership 8,000. So it comes to 000 2,09,000. So this much will be taken as liability under the balance sheet. Liability side of balance sheet. Capital fund 2,09,000. Then last one is, from the following particular, prepare balance sheet is given. So we have to prepare a balance sheet. That is question number 13. Here question number 13, we have to calculate, we have to prepare balance sheets of, it is not given, name is given. So Mrs. X as on 31st March 2021 is given. So this is liabilities amount, assets amount. So liabilities amount, then assets amount. So under asset is given furniture 10,000, that will write furniture 10,000. Then sports material 20,000. Sports material in hand, that is clothing. That is sports material, it is asset. Sports material. So amount is 20,000. Then surplus is written here. Excess of income over expenditure is surplus. Surplus is 5,000. Then books given is 5,000. So we write under asset books 5,000. Then subscription due, that is, it is asset. Subscription due, the amount is 2,000. Prepaid rent, that is also asset. Prepaid rent. If you are having knowledge on preparation of balance sheet in case of trading concern, you can prepare also for non-trading concern. Only difference is in case of trading concern, capital was the base, here capital fund is the base. And there was net profit in profit and loss account, but in income and expenditure account there is surplus, that is excess of income over expenditure. So prepaid rent is 2000, that we write. Then salary outstanding as a liability, that will write salary outstanding. How much it is there? It is 8000. Then subscription received in advance also 2000. Subscription received in advance 2000. You see, we will prepare the balance sheet. Here asset side total is 30, 35, then 4, 39,000. Furniture 10,000, sports metal 20,000, books 5,000, subscription due 2,000, subscription due 2,000, prepaid only 500, not 2,000, it is 500. So amount is 500, then 37,500 is the asset total. The liability total should be 37,500. So you have to calculate the capital fund at the beginning. Capital fund at beginning. That is balancing figure. That is balancing figure. How much? Here it is 10,000, 15,000. So it is 15,000 means 22,500. 22,500 is the capital fund at the beginning of the year, and balance sheet total will be 37,500. Okay, this is all about your problem. Now we will discuss the MCQ questions. In MCQ question, it is given non-profit organization prepares, all of you know, instead of profit loss is prepared by trading concern. Non-profit organization, not for profit organization, maintains income and expenditure account. Receipt payment account shows, it is given summarized figure of cash flow, cash received, cash payment, capital and revenue item, all the above is correct. Because in the receipt payment account, we will write opening is 2 balance brought down, 2 cash in hand, 2 cash at bank, closing also by cash in hand, cash at bank. In between all receipt, it may be cash receipt or cash payment, capital receipt or revenue receipt, everything will be written. So answer is all the above. Difference of receipt payment account reveals cash balance, that is what is the cash in hand, cash at bank. Subscription received in advance is a liability. Donation received for a specific purpose should be capitalized. Answer is given, should be capitalized, should be considered as revenue receipt, may be capitalized, taken as revenue receipt, should not be recorded at all. Yes, the answer is it should be capitalized. Life membership fee received, it should be also capitalized. Interest received from building fund investment, it should be credited to building fund investment account. Credited to building fund account, not building fund investment account, because any adjustment will do with the specific fund only, that is building fund account. Building fund account and interest received from building fund investment. The receipt of legacy should be treated as capital receipt. If a sports fund is created, then sports expenses are transferred to only sports fund. Here it is sports fund is given, sports fund investment is given, income and expenditure is given. When there is a specific fund, that is sports fund, any expenses, it should not be charged to, debited to income and expenditure, rather it is subtracted from sports fund. When the tournament expense incurred are more than the tournament fund, then the expenses amount should be debited to income and expenditure account. Because tournament funds are there, then you will incur expenses more than that fund. That means the amount should be debited to income and expenditure account. Income expenditure account is a nominal account, all of you know. Then receipt payment account is asset, that is a real account. Income and expenditure account records income and expenditure of revenue nature only. Day-to-day transaction of club are recorded in the cash book. From the cash book, it will be summarized and it is taken to receipt and payment book. In case of non-trading concern, not for trading concern, non-trading concern, no trial balance is prepared, only receipt payment account is prepared. Which of the following account mostly begins with an opening balance, receipt payment account? That is, it is given receipt payment, income expenditure, and both means receipt payment. In the beginning, we write 2, cash in hand, cash at bank. Then admission fee received during the year should be treated as revenue unless the amount is pretty large. If it is very large, then we will capitalize it, will show under liability. The credit balance of income expenditure account at the end of the year, it is surplus. That is excess of income over expenditure. If it is debit balance, it is deficit. That means excess of expenditure over income. So balance of income expenditure represents surplus, either surplus or deficit. If it is surplus, it is excess of expenditure of income. It will be added with the capital fund. If it is deficit, it is excess of expenditure over income. It will be subtracted from the capital fund. Legacy may be treated as either capital receipt or revenue receipt. If it is given for general purpose, then you treat it as revenue receipt. If it is given for a specific purpose, then it is capitalized capital receipt. It is treated under liability. When expense in sports exceeds sports fund, it is debited to income and expense. Difference is treated in income and expenditure because fund is created. Suppose the sports fund is created 10,000, expense is incurred 12,000, another 2,000 will be recovered from income and expenditure account. If the sports fund is 12,000 and expense is 10,000, then sports fund will be 2,000, which is shown under liability, nothing to be debited to expenses on sports, should not be debited to income and expenditure account. In this case, as expenses is more than the sports fund, the sports fund is, so difference amount will be debited to income and expenditure account. Income expenditure will prepared to know either surplus or deficit. Receipt and payment account prepared in lieu of cash book. Legacy is usually shown as an income. Legacy is income, expenditure, liability. If it is for a general purpose, then it is income. If it is for a specific purpose, it is liability. Donation received for a special purpose is capital receipt, is treated under liability. Then income expenditure account prepared in lieu of profit and loss account. Income and expenditure prepared in case of non-trading concern, whereas profit loss account is prepared in case of trading concern. Outstanding subscription is asset. Income expenditure account prepared to know excess of income over expenditure, that is surplus, or excess of expenditure over income, that is deficit. Receipt payment account discloses closing balance of cash. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Mainly, you share this video to so many friends so that everybody will be benefited. As a result, our purpose will be served.